Yeah, man, we're just existing.
Just existing and a ball.
Yeah, really.
that we call
In a spinning ball.
In a spinning
We don't
ball.
know how we got here, but
The
we're
earth,
here.
the earth is not flat.
No.
The earth is not flat.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon. Well, man, I really.
Sponsored by Liquid Death.
Yeah, I'm telling you, one day, we're gonna get it, and they're gonna wake up, and they're gonna be like, "We want to do a podcast."
You speak into existence, man.
Right. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to do something, man. We've
got to get you an old lady.
Yeah, seriously, just have an old lady come on and just do something. But yeah, we've been making progress, man.
That's awesome.
That's how I just take it, and then that's the next step. It's either a camera or, well, no, I got the camera. Now it's just sponsorship.
Just a sponsorship.
So we can get more cameras.
So at the beginning of
So
every
we can get more
podcast.
cameras.
And more shit.
Yeah, either that or I hire somebody to be cameraman and take care of all camera, video, and all that stuff.
Yeah, man. I feel like you need a team. You definitely need a team.
We're building. I mean, I got this guy now.
Yeah.
You definitely need a team.
Can't do it
It's
yourself.
hard doing it all by yourself.
Yeah,
Right.
It's very hard.
it is.
The more, I find like the more you elevate, I'm finding that out like this year since like things are going so fast. Like I've elevated that much more, and it's gonna keep going, and it's gonna reach a point where someone's gonna have to do stuff for you on the back end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't.
That's hard too, because like there's not a whole lot of people out there you can trust, but at the same time, like
There's not a lot of people who would help.
Right, but like once you find people,
That's
like,
where it is.
But like once you find people, it's one after the other, and like you all of a sudden form a team of like 20 or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because that was a conversation I had with somebody. He does photography too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he does videos or not, but irrelevant either way. And I was talking to him, and I was like, because he was like, hey, like I saw some of your content. Like I would love to, help you shoot some of your content.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, cool, man. And, I'm also looking for maybe somebody to do, like we were talking about, like BTS for the podcast and stuff. And I was like, but like, here's my scenario. Like, I'm really trying to find somebody that can understand and see the vision moving forward to the point of like understanding I may not be able to pay you, compensate you like right now. But like if you contribute to this, like you can help take us and get us to that point. To that next level. And that's where it's hard to find those people, like you said, those people that are just willing to help. And again, we say it all the time. We understand time is money. People got expenses and stuff like that. But it's hard finding those people that nowadays that see that vision in what you're trying to do, whether it's music, whether it's, whatever you're trying to do. It doesn't have to be just music focused.
Art, acting.
Anything. Yeah. It's hard sometimes, so it's
that creative space,
Yeah, so that's where you start. You start trying to build different things. You try to get sponsorships so that you're like, okay, like I'm in a good spot. Yeah. So I'm in a good spot where I can, pay you, and then you're like, all right, I don't have to worry about that because I have this.
Yeah. Especially if you're, an artist or anybody else like looking for management. Like I said. Once things like ramp up, like you're gonna need somebody to do stuff on the back end for you, like so you can focus on the music and whatever else you gotta do.
Right, because
it's
not to cut you off.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
like I was telling Faith earlier today, like I'm trying to juggle being a photographer and a videographer, and at the same time be an artist. And like here I am cranking out content for this event, and then I gotta crank out content for my event. So it's definitely tough, and I think having a team is definitely beneficial for sure.
Definitely, and it's gotta be people you 1,000% trust, and people who are 1,000% gonna work extremely hard for you.
Right, and just going back to what he said, that see the vision.
Exactly.
If they don't see the vision,
you have to see the vision.
You got to see the vision.
Right.
Yeah, otherwise
wasting your time.
Yeah, they're not going to understand the intent of why, the way things are moving, and why you may be not getting a paycheck like right now. Like being crystal clear, like me and Mo had that same conversation when Mo became my hype man, because I was like, I know that you travel far, and I would love to compensate you. But I said, if there's any opportunity that I can, like I'm going to, because you only add to my show. You make it 10 times better. than, you know, just me solo. So I was, you know, anytime that I do that, but he saw that vision too.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, let's do it. Like, I understand where we're at. Like, I'm for it. And, you know, and he knows anytime, you know, and that's not to pat myself on the shoulder. Like, anytime I can, I'm like, dude, like, here you go. Like,
definitely. And a good way to start is like, you know, like we have merch and all that stuff. So like, I would love to like go out and vend and all that, and you know, like pushing like the MOCG brand.
Right.
Like, once we like push that, like, you know, a way for you to, you know, pay him would be to, you know, split up the cost of what you sell at a show or whatever.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's just little stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why like I'm so meticulous now when it comes to, you know, picking shows and stuff that I'm jumping on, because I also understand and recognize too, like, and I accept that responsibility. I'm responsible for somebody in a sense, in theory, you know, whether or not he understands the vision, regardless, like just me as a person, I'm just like, no, I got to make sure that like he's good in some way, shape or form. You know, even if I, you know, again, not to pat myself on the back, like if I have to do it out of my own pocket, like just because it just adds value for me. And, even if it's something, even if it's just gas money,
just
like
feeling valued is, it comes a long way.
Comes a long way. So like, I just appreciate the fact that like he saw that vision, and like, I just wish that there were more people like that, you know, that are willing to kind of jump on that. And again, I understand that it's a hard decision to do too, for a lot of people, especially when you're so advanced in whatever it is that you're doing. Like if you're just well known and you're just killing it and you're like, I just want you to see my vision. They're like, well, I'm already kind of in my own lane. But at the same time, not that you discredit somebody that's brand new, but you know, you want somebody that kind of knows what they're doing to help you along the way. But at the same time, you're like, we're both building at the same time. So it's like, there's a weird fine line catch-22 point where you're trying to find somebody to help you, but
you seem like you found that man.
It's a matter of
it's just finding the right, you know,
who, when, how.
Like you said earlier, who you can trust.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
Trust definitely goes a long way.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. You can't just jump into things either, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's like when we started MOCG, like that was a big step for me, because I was like, this is me joining a team that I'm going to trust to help support my music.
How long have they been around?
MOCG,
I know it's what, just for kicks, isn't it?
Just for kicks, and in Ian 13 Ball. It was more, well, initially it was 13 Ball's kind of vision.
Okay.
And then Just for Kicks, obviously they've been friends forever. Helped support him in, you know, getting that started.
Yeah.
But definitely, you know, like I said, 13 Ball kind of vision. I mean, they've been doing this because I joined, 2020?
2020. Okay.
I think.
I think it was before that.
Maybe before that.
Yeah, it was
it was before that, because we were doing the cleanup and stuff.
Yeah.
And we were doing that during maybe 2019, I think.
It was around there.
Probably 2019 is when I started, and then he started shortly after.
Yeah.
He was right after me.
Right after you.
So 2019. So I mean, I probably have to look it up. Maybe like 2015.
Wow.
Because they were pretty established. Because like I remember some of Just for Kicks' older music, and he was talking about MOCG, and like that's been around for a while. Like when I first started making music.
Just for Kicks been doing its thing for a while.
Oh
too.
Yeah. This is like back in like Carla Rose days. You know, when Carla Rose, which is literally just up the street, was a big staple for hip hop in, you know, the New Hampshire area of just places to perform and stuff like that. Shout out Cody Pope.
They were killing it with shows too, like sold out every single show they were doing.
Yeah.
And this is right down the block.
It was literally, just probably like 5 minutes away.
Gotcha, that's cool.
It was a dope spot. It was like a cigar and hookah lounge, and then, you know, they kind of upgraded different stuff and added different things, but it was always a place you could perform. That's dope, you know, man. And shout out to Cody Pope for kind of leading the way in that era of putting on shows and, you know, getting people out there to perform. It was dope, but, you know, and then unfortunately they had to close and stuff. So
why did they close?
I don't know. I think the owners, they were, and not to put words in their mouth. Yeah. I mean, they were just, I say this loosely, like just kind of done with the business. Like they were moving on to other things,
Right.
moving on to different stages in their lives. Everett Gibbons, I think he moved out west. I could be wrong, but I know he's doing his music thing and just excelling and doing his own thing. And I think his mom was helping run it too. And I think, they're just at different points, and they were just like, his mom's, I'm at a different point. It's time for me to move on. Cool. All right.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, that's fair. I don't judge it. We all got to make life choices at some, we got to make life choices at some time.
More power to them if they're doing great. That's that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always another spot somewhere.
Yeah. But I appreciate him because that was probably one of my first shows ever as a solo artist doing it myself. Probably one of my first shows was over there.
That's awesome, man.
So, well, welcome to the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast, where we sit down, make connections through conversations, as we are, 20 minutes in already, but already good conversation. Appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. Just want to say God bless to everybody. Welcome. My name is Jay Faith. We got L.Y.F.E here to my left.
What's up?
This is a MOCG production right here at 41st Studios. Again, as always, I want to just say thank you to them for allowing us to use this amazing space and let us do what we came here to do. But
and also to let us pack in that mini fridge of liquid death.
Exactly.
If you are thirsty today, you lift this up high and friggin' whatever. I don't know.
Murder your thirst.
Cheers to y'all. Yeah.
Liquid death. Shout out to Liquid Death. Appreciate y'all. Trying to help the environment and still be quirky and fun at the same time. But want to welcome our guests for tonight. We got D-Rock in the building. What's going on, man?
Yes, sir. I'm excited to be here, man. I'm excited to drink my liquid death
for the first time.
For the first time, I thought it was a beer can.
That's what I thought at first. Yeah.
They did an awesome job marketing that. So Liquid Death, you're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Facts.
So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be around creators and rappers and. Just being in this space just gets me pumped. I was talking about the rug in the bathroom,
Shout out to the decor.
The decor on the floor, That's really dope, man.
Spitting bars already. Here we go.
Decor on the floor like never before.
Freestyling,
Yeah, right? We're
coming through trying to pull the cord. Never catch me in the 4 tours.
Ooh.
I've actually driven one of those, not going to lie, so I can't use that bar. Sorry.
Ah, man. But yeah,
I didn't own it, but I drove it. I worked for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, man. I drove every car.
How long have you worked for Enterprise?
I worked for them for 5 years.
Really?
It was probably one of my most favorite jobs.
Did you get to drive the cars?
Oh yeah.
You got like
I clean the cars.
You clean the cars. Okay.
So I clean the cars, and the Enterprise picks you up. Yeah, that was me.
Wow.
It wasn't the guys in the suits.
Yeah.
It was me in like a green polo and shorts. Oh yeah, I got discounts on if I wanted to rent it, stuff like that. But
that's awesome.
I mean, we drive around Mustangs and Chargers and Challengers. Yeah. Oh, it was probably one of my most favorite jobs.
Why'd you leave?
Just getting older, trying to be in. Not that it wasn't an adult job, but I mean, the pay wasn't phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because you're just cleaning cars, if you will.
Right.
I mean, some of the summer days were pretty hot. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like I deserved a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. But I was just getting older. You're trying to move out and
start a family.
All that.
Be on your own.
Yeah, I was like, this is not gonna cut it. So so I got a new job, and but yeah, it was literally one of my most favorite jobs because we were literally like, I still remember we had to pick up Infiniti G35.
Okay, I'm not really a car guy, so like,
it's a little quicker, quicker one. One of the more nicer, one of the more nicer cars. And I had to pick it up.
I drive a Honda.
We had to pick it up in Nashua, New Hampshire.
2006 Lincoln.
Hey, I'm not gonna say mine. So we had to pick it up in Nashua, and then we had to drive it all the way down to Lexington, Mass, which is probably like a 30-minute drive straight highway.
Gotcha.
And this is like a car that has some pretty good pickup. So I hop on the highway. My friend actually let me drive it because we usually take one car together to obviously go grab it, and then we kind of like decide like when we see the car, like, you know, who's gonna drive what. Like we try, but you know, whatever. And he was like, nah, man, go ahead, you can drive it, whatever. So dude, literally, I tell you, I get on the highway, I drop it to like 30, and then just hammer onto the gas and just take off and just book it straight down. Oh, dude, I took
Bro, you ever been
off.
in a Tesla?
The Charger?
Oh, Chargers, yeah.
I drove in a Tesla like
Mustang, same thing.
last year, man, and I was in the passenger side. Bro, I felt like I was in a roller coaster.
Really?
I've never been in a Tesla before, but man,
I haven't been in
my
one yet.
boy took off. I was like,
Dang.
oh my god.
I know somebody that works for Tesla. I mean, he like just like does just like customer service on the phone, but like he's trying to move up and all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we used to abuse the cars, so just be careful. Nah, we Mustangs, we just burn rubber. We'd be taking hard turns, like because our thing was we would try to do everything quick because you know, you get back, you clean, you could, you know, try to get back. So and then they would send us on trips. They'd pack like 4 of us into a car. And then be like, hey, all of you guys are going to go pick up a car. So then, of course, what do? We try to all race each other back to the shop.
Right.
Let's do it.
And then one time, I was in the back, and then we'll actually get to the podcast. We were in the back. This was in Lowell.
Yeah.
It was a super dead day. And I literally went to one of the managers, good friend of mine. And I look at him, I go, dude, can I just take the Dodge Ram and just do burnouts in the back? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I go, dude, I pull it right in the back. You can't see me because it's like behind the building and everything. And I literally just, he comes, and then I finish whatever. I go back in. I get my fill of burnouts.
You get your fix.
He comes in later and he goes, dude, what the hell? And I go, what? He goes, dude, I told you to do burnouts, not ball the tires. It was like this like thick of just tire tread and just like tar on the pavement from where I burned out. He's like, dude, we can't like just be replacing tires like that. Like, stop. And I was like, oh, my bad. But that's what was dope. Like, we could do, I mean, as long as we didn't like bang up the cars, like we could, I mean, they would do the same thing.
I mean, it sounds like you had a fun time.
Yeah, as long as we didn't bang up the cars, they were like, yeah, whatever. Like, my boss, we were taking a turn on the.
I mean, you didn't bang any cars.
No.
Oh, gotcha.
My boss, as we're like on an on ramp to get onto 495, it's like we're turning, and he's like, dude, like I'm in a rush. So we got to get somewhere. I'm in front of him. He was like, dude, move over. So I literally slide to the left, and he cuts around me, and like he just races off. Like we're all racing each other. Like even my boss.
Really? Your boss was racing with you?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like, dude, hurry up. Like, let's go. Like, he was one of those people, like, time is money. Like, time is money. Let's go. Right. Like, we have customers. Like, the quicker we do it, the more that we can do.
I wish my boss.
So he was like, let's go. So that's like where we got it. So we were just like, all right, I guess we're all just racing back in different cars. It just sucked when you got stuck with like the PT Cruiser. God, and you're just like, damn it.
Wow. Experiences at Enterprise.
Dude, it was fun. But yeah, back to the Ford Taurus. That is where I learned to drive a Ford Taurus. But anyways, so what's been going on with you, man? I mean, you're involved in a lot of different things, but let the people know who D-Rock is, man.
I just had a 30th birthday.
Oh, you hit 30.
And like, I don't know, man. 30 hit different. Like I was thinking about 30 2 months ago. So I hit 30. I was just like thinking about my life, man, and where like God has brought me from, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And like NF dropped hope, bro. 30 years of this, 30 years of that. It's like, I can relate.
Yeah, you're trying to speak to me right now. Okay.
You speaking to me right now.
Yeah,
that's why I love NF. Shout out to NF. But yeah, I just turned 30. I was down in, I went to Dallas for the first time. I went to
I'm going to be there this summer.
CF&I. It's Christ for the Nations College.
Word.
I was up there. I checked out Gateway Church. My friend goes to the school, so I was able to check out Dallas. I like Dallas.
Dallas is pretty cool.
I like it a lot. Yeah, so I'm a videographer, photographer, artist. Do a little bit of hosting, a little bit of modeling here and there.
Okay.
So I'm currently working on some new music.
Word.
We also got some new music.
We got
coming.
some new music coming. I'm excited for that.
It's in the process,
Yeah.
but trying to balance life and music and photography. It's a lot.
It's
a
lot.
It's definitely a lot.
Yeah.
So that's just a little bit about me and what I have going on right now. New music coming. I'm working on a lot of client work. It's wedding season is coming up.
That's true.
So if anybody needs a wedding photographer, videographer,
facts.
Let me know. Wedding season is coming up, so I'm like super excited about that.
Nice.
Super excited about that.
So you just stay busy.
Bro, it's just life. That's not even like talking about adulting and family and like.
Seriously.
It's just like I'm always busy.
Right.
Yeah.
Constantly busy. Sometimes I wish I could just move back in my guardian's house and be a kid again. But
seriously.
I feel like you can't.
Yeah. I feel like people don't realize how much we actually do, even when we say what we actually do.
Right.
Because like you said, like you're like videographer, photographer, artist, and then a couple other things. But it's like I still have to live. Right. I still work. I
gotta be an adult.
9 to 5,
eat, sleep, work.
Like there's still all those other things. It's like I don't think people give enough credit to creators and people chasing something.
I love the space though. I love creating.
It's dope. It can be stressful at times.
It can be very stressful, but I love it. I love having that passion for it. I love seeing the final product of like what I created and what that vision of that God has given me. Like He installed this in me. He has given me gifts. And it's like like I did that. Like when I finish a song, it's like I did that.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just the process.
You hear, you see people fucking with it, and like, it's like holy shit. It is a mind fuck. You know what I mean?
Right. When you hear people singing the words to your songs, like, bro, that's insane when I think about it.
Yeah.
That's why I love this.
It's
space.
like this person said this. Like I feel that way about J. Cole. Like, when I listen to his music, I can make that same impact.
And I was just listening to some of my old tracks, and it's like, wow. Like I came up with some bars about my life, what I've been through. Like
I know, I listen back sometimes. I'm like, yo, I'm so dope, bro. Come on, man. Like, do you understand?
With me, dog.
Seriously, bro, it's okay to stay, but obviously stay humble. But
definitely.
Like, but I did that.
At the same point, like even like my first like project, I'll listen back sometimes because like some of it I really do like just for myself. And I'll just listen back, and I'm just like, man, like, this was, like, really dope.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're like, oh, I wish it was better mix, master, whatever. But even at the same time, just the way it was.
You just learn how to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I was just like, man, this was dope. This was slept on.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But, you live and you learn, you grow.
I was watching the podcast with Vinny, and you guys were talking about bringing back old content, and I think that's super important because... when you're building and you're constantly building your profile, you're constantly putting out new music. It's like, oh, what, you have new followers that never heard your music before,
right?
So it's like it's good to bring that stuff back,
because there could be some of those songs that they're like, oh, like I really relate with that,
right?
But if you don't introduce it to them, because some people just don't really search deep into that catalog. They more look at like maybe the last two.
It's also, it's saturated, bro. Like
it really is.
I went back home to New Bedford. I grew up in New Bedford, Mass, and like everybody's a rapper, bro.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, listen to my song on Facebook, but and it's hard to be like creative in this space too because everybody's doing it,
right?
But like you said, going back to some of the old catalog, it'd be dope for people to hear it,
right? Because I think it's twofold. You get to see how far you've grown. People get to see how far you've grown. Be like, this is one of the first tracks I ever did, and this is pretty dope. And look at what I'm doing now. Like it's even better.
The growth, and you learn how to appreciate the growth. That's why I love NF, man. We were talking about it earlier. Like I know I keep bringing it up, but like I'm a big fan of NF.
He's one of my favorite artists.
But have you guys listened to his track before I think the Mansion album.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the album. It has like a microphone on the cover.
Oh, I did just dive into that.
And I was like, wow. But then he did like a 180, a totally 180. It was like, the first track I heard from him was "This Is All I Have."
Yeah,
I'm like, who is this? Who is this dude? I looked up the music video. This is a white guy.
The first one that I heard him on was actually him and Futuristic, Epiphany.
Okay, yeah.
That was the first one,
track.
and I was like,
That's
yo,
a
this
good
dude's
track.
nice.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up, and then I found All I Have, and then we ended up doing the remix for it. But yeah,
but like seeing his journey and like him continuing his story was amazing.
Yeah.
And once again, we were talking about hope, and he brought back Mansions. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
And from like a director's perspective, I was like still caught on the music video. I'm like, dude, how did he do that?
Yeah. And I think in this album too, he's gonna bring back like all the albums he's made, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
I think it's bringing it full circle.
Yeah.
I
and
believe
just
it.
kind of explaining everything that he's been through and like where he's at now. Because like even in Hope, you can tell like he's trying to get rid of Nate,
right?
Like, and Nate's like, no, like I'm kind of still here,
He's
kind of still here.
You know what I mean? You saw Perception, you saw Mansion. He was back in the Mansion. You saw Therapy Session. You know,
it's so
fucking same
good
shit.
though. It's so good. Like I want to get to a point where like my visuals just line up with everything. I'm telling the story throughout my whole life, and like everything just like connects. You know what I'm saying? And I just love how he does it. But going back to the catalog, man, like I've been doing music for a little while now, and like some of my old stuff with my family is some of my best work. You know, and just you learn how to appreciate it even more, and you love the new listeners to hear it.
Yeah, yeah. Because like I said, you never know when that person like, because like when I first found NF and then started diving back into some of the older stuff, you start to hear music that you connect with. But if you don't do that, then you just stick with some of the newer stuff, which a lot of people do. But me being an old head, I try to dive deeper.
I can relate, man. I know.
I try to hear some of that older stuff because you never know. That's what I did for Joe. Joe Budden would probably be my better example of, because I came into him. No Love Lost came out, and that was maybe 4 or 5 albums after he like Pump It Up, that everybody got hyped about.
Pump it up.
And then so like that's when I started getting into him, but then I started diving back into his older music, Black Cloud, those kind of songs, and I was like, this is dope. It's not like the greatest quality, and he's even admitted that. But it was just so dope, and I was like, I'm so glad that I went back and just took a second because you never know.
It makes you appreciate it even more.
When I hear a song or two from an artist, I also want to go back and listen to an album or two. I often do that.
And I was like, we're rappers, we're artists.
Yeah.
Like we learn how to appreciate it even more. Like okay, like I want to do some stuff like that. It gives us ideas too.
Right. And starting out too, like it's important to not just listen to a song, but listen to a whole entire project, because that starting out, that's how you learn how to put together like a masterful, just like body of work.
What's your thoughts on how many songs should be on an album now? I was having a conversation with my friend.
say like minimum 10.
Minimum 10, okay.
10,
around minimum 10.
Yeah.
Unless you're like, I was talking to my friend and we're like, unless you're like, I don't know, like Chris Brown or somebody. It's like, Chris Brown like drops like 20 songs, and I'm like, unless it's an artist that you like really care about, I will listen to every single song.
Right.
But I think albums nowadays should be at least less than 10 tracks,
Yeah.
So I was talking to a brother from the church, and he was saying, because he lives down in Florida, he got me put onto like 1 RPM, that whole streaming thing, which is actually pretty cool. But he was saying, I think this probably applies more to newer artists and trying to get their music out there, is like no more than 10.
Yeah.
Maybe even like 7 or 8. Yeah. And the reason behind that is because everybody's attention spans is super short. And especially if you're sending it to a label or a radio station, like they want to hear it like now. Like they want to get to the concept, they want to understand it, they want to hear it like now. They're not waiting to get 10, 11, 12 songs in on a 18 track album to finally kind of pick things up and get to that point.
And I think that's why, like,
but once you're like mainstream and like you kind of have built that following that you could do that, and people are like, okay, like I'm willing to sit down and listen to a 20 track song. Even then, I feel like to me, I feel like 20 is too long.
20, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
In my opinion,
I agree.
That's my opinion. Like when Chris Brown drops a 45 album double disc, I'm like, I'm sorry. Like I love your music. Like I think you're a phenomenal artist.
It has to be the artist though. Like if it's an artist that I really like.
Yeah.
Going back to NF. I will listen to it. But if it's like an artist I don't really vibe with, I don't connect with, I probably won't listen to it.
But it also makes me just wonder, like, why so many?
Right.
Like where does the creative process kind of fall in? Was this intentional? Mm-hmm. Did you just have a bunch of music and just like, I just need to get rid of these and just get it out to the airwaves? You know, what is kind of the purpose behind it? You know, because like for me, like when I put albums together, it's all strategic. Right. Like from song one to song whatever, there's a purpose behind it. I'm setting a limit, and that's it.
I feel like it's like hard to even
1 second, continue.
Good.
Get people's attention span, like you said. It's like when you put out a song, it's like you got to push that song. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And like allow the people to appreciate that record, and not just, hey, I'm gonna drop another song. But you know, you got to really push that song, and I'm learning that every day. Like, okay, like how do I create more content so people will appreciate the music? How do I create more content so people will listen to the music? You know?
Yeah, but I know, like I heard, like for Chris Brown, you know, and doing. And artists like him that drop these, you know, 45, whatever, it's to increase the profit because you have so much content in there that, like, you know, you hit shuffle and like you're bound to hit something.
Right.
You know, and that's more content that he can deliver to playlists at one time. And obviously being Chris Brown, he's gonna get added.
Right. He's gonna get added.
Excuse me. So, you know, it's easier for them to kind of build up their streams. Right. You know, you hit a mill for an album a lot quicker because you have 45 songs that you can spread that across versus, you know,
and it's all about
10 to 15.
Like you said earlier, you got to build a fan base too.
Yeah. That's why I say I feel like it's different with like Chris Brown compared to like us. Like I feel like us,
it's like
you got to fall within that 10 and 12.
Yeah.
Because people, you know, especially when you're trying to capture people, they're not going to wait. They're not going to wait for you to, you know, to get into your project. Like,
right.
We want to get to the content.
They just want that consistency.
Excuse me.
Less than 10 songs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, half the time too, like they only listen for 30 seconds. Yeah. So it's like you're already kind of screwed there. And then, you know, like what Vinny said on his podcast, he showed his album to a friend, skipped like the first like 4 songs. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, okay, I like this one. And then he started listening. So it's like, you never know.
Right.
So, you know, if you're going to put together like a smaller project, like just make sure everything's in order.
Now, you said you dropped 6 projects so far?
So I've been at
albums?
about 6, yeah.
Okay.
I would say the average probably 13.
13, gotcha.
Like this next one, I'll have 15. But I've done 15.
Oh wait, I thought we.
You know what? Like,
this was before I had the conversation.
This was you said 3 years.
This is 13 years.
13 years
in the making. In the making, from when I went through everything that is on the album to putting it together to now finally releasing it.
Gotcha. That's dope, man.
And this was before I had the conversation with. Because he was like, yeah, like how many songs are on your project? And I was like, 15. And he was like, well, maybe you should next time, like, you know, 10 to 12, you know, 8 to 10. He said 8 to 10, you know, to, again, for that short attention span and to just get And then, like you said, you know, when we submit it to playlists, it's less that they have to try to cipher through. It's just, okay, cool. It's like right here. And again, I think that's more for, you know, independent, newer, trying to build a fan base versus like your Chris Browns, UNFs, all those, you know, all those well-established.
UNFs.
See, like when I first started, I dropped like a bunch of singles, you know, just on like SoundCloud and YouTube and all that stuff. So people, I mean, I came from like zero support, so like that's you know where I am now. It's a big ass like jump, but like tough, I jumped. I mean, I did a lot of singles and stuff like that. And then like when it came to, you know, release my first like legit album, it had like 15 songs on it, and it did pretty well. So I mean, like if you're starting out, like just do like drop single after single after single, and then, you know, accumulate, you know, a fan base of some sort, and
just get people warmed up to you.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you're like, okay, like he can do a single. All right, let's see him do a project. And you're like, okay, here you go.
Yeah. And then, you know, those like 5 people who listen to it, or 10, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll just spread the word and everything will propel forward. You know?
It's dope, man.
Yeah.
I think you just have to have the confidence in it too.
Yeah.
Like we said, like,
and things happen differently for, you know, everybody really, you know.
Right.
What I mean?
That too.
Because a lot of the music I put out is what I've been through.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of my pain, a lot of my struggles. Like I recently just released a single called Joy in the Morning.
Yep.
Literally, like, it felt like everything was just hitting me left and right. Hitting me left and right. And I believe God had to remind me that, like, you know, things are going to happen, you know, and, you know, joy will come in the morning. So a lot of the times I feel like it's, for me personally, it's like what I've been through, you know, at that time, and I'll write that song and I'll put it down. It's like, okay, like I have some songs that some of the things I've been through, you know, happened in the past.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you know, right time, right moment to put it out too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's relatable to everybody too, because I mean, yesterday's gone. Like, so stop worrying about it. Like, and you know, His mercy is new every day.
Right.
So like, let's just, you know, let go of the past. I mean, granted, it's always easier said than done for a lot of people, but you know, that's just what we have to try to instill in people, is that, you know, it's a new day. Like tomorrow is gone. Like, let's stop worrying about what happened yesterday. Let's make a better today. And like, just know, like, you woke up, you're breathing.
That's good.
Appreciate it. And let's, you know, be grateful for that. That should be joy enough for you. The fact that you woke up, you're breathing, you're able to do what you're able to do. Like, that's, for anybody, should be joy enough, because there's obviously people that can't do that no more.
Right. You know?
So, I feel that.
When shit happens, it's temporary, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
It
can feel like a prolonged period of time. Like, sometimes, like, you'll be going through something for, you know, a years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In situations that's, like, much harder to get out of, but, like, still, like, if you're able to get out of that's what makes it temporary. It's not the rest of your life, you know what I mean? So
we got to realize, I mean, we know, like, and we got to realize, like, most of the time, these things that we go through are things to help build us and make us stronger. Like, that's all it is to prepare us for what's coming next.
Right.
Because then when you make it through, like, I think a lot of people miss this part, is they make it through and they're like, oh, I'm glad that's done.
Yeah.
But then they don't look and see how much stronger they are and what they actually just went through, and realize the process that, like, you just went through. Like, I went through, you know, not having a house, living in a house that was about to be sold, going to welfare, you know, all this kind of stuff. And then, you know, now I'm good. I'm settled. I'm where I need to be. And like, I constantly look back and I'm like, man, I'm good. Yeah. Like, this feels really good, because I remember where I was. And like, I know that it has built me into the person that I am now. That's good. More conscious from, you know, on my money. I'm being smarter with my money. You know, I'm taking care of my family. It's stuff like that. And I think people miss that mark of, you know, we have to forget the past, but we also have to just like remember where we came from. It's like a weird catch-22 kind of scenario, but you got to remember where you came from, man. Like, and what, you know, God has pushed you through.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
Come
definitely.
on.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a big thing, and people just miss that mark sometimes. And it goes back to that appreciation thing.
And you appreciate
the stuff that you did before, like, and look where you're at now.
Appreciate it even more, man.
Right.
Like,
and like you're sitting here today, you hit the ground running and get ready for the future. You know.
Right. And I'm able to just listen to that music. It's like, wow, God brought me through that heartbreak.
Yeah.
God brought me through that situation, and I can just appreciate it more when I just hear old music, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And music, like, I mean, we all know it's a timeless thing, especially when it's circled around things that we have gone through in our lives. You know, we can look back and be like, man, it's like a time capsule.
Yeah,
and
literally.
Like, man, like, I did go through that. But now I'm making music about how much better I am now.
That's good.
And how much I've risen above everything that I've gone through.
That's good.
And like, this is cool.
And we get to do that, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I love about being a creator. Like I said, it's a challenging world because everybody is trying to create something. And when you have a million minds trying to go after the same thing.
TikTok is
that's what we were talking about just off air, you know? Like some dude's like, oh, just scuff my Vans, 1.5 mil.
Like, everybody and their mother is on TikTok, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's just finding your place. It's finding ways to make yourself stand out. And, you know, I think that's where, you know, we say it all the time on here. It's, you have to find a way to separate yourself and have something that continues because, especially with music, like you said, the oversaturation.
Right.
When you're doing the same thing as everybody else, you're just putting yourself in the same saturation. But if you're doing something different, it makes you stand out.
And also, I was having a conversation with this videographer, and he does it full time. We were having a brief conversation, met him, and now he like shoots for like Jason Tatum and like stuff like that. And he also mentioned how he mentioned about being consistent and being relevant.
Yeah.
You know, staying relevant. Yeah. Staying relevant in what you post, staying relevant in what you do. So that was very enlightening when he talked about that.
Excuse me.
You know, just to see him full time, you know, doing what he loves, you know, stay relevant and stay consistent. You know, he said there are probably thousands of videographers that are better than me, but I'm consistent and I stay relevant to what's happening.
Right.
You know? So.
And like it's his own touch too. Like
it's his own touch.
Those pictures are him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like your pictures
Yeah.
in the film, that's you. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
As a photographer, it's like, okay, I like to have my own style.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to, like you said, tie it back to, you know, you got to stand out.
Yeah.
You know, definitely standing out is big.
Like who you are, like as alone makes you stand out. Because if you try to copy everybody else, that just brings more stress. That just, you know, causes you to overthink everything, and it's just not fun.
I think a lot of people, and I mean, I'll throw myself in there sometimes, they're afraid to just step out of the box because it's not the norm.
Right.
Because they know what everybody is accepting, and they're not trying something that they're unsure if it's going to be accepted. Like, I remember the movie Yes Man. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that with, what the heck? Jim Carrey. And he goes to this seminar because he says no to everything. Hey, you want to go to this party? No, I'm busy. Hey, you want to come over and hang with my friends? No, I'm busy. Oh, I got something to do, dude. I could see you in the line in Blockbuster trying to buy a movie. Like, you're not busy. Stop. But he says no to like everything. So he goes to the seminar, and the guy's like, I want you to say yes to everything, no matter what it is. Say yes to it. So, you know, he's going through all these different scenarios. Somebody's like, hey, you want to go skydiving? Yes. And he goes skydiving for the first time, like doing all these crazy things. But he ends up meeting this woman, and she runs like a jogging class, if you will, but it's also photography. And what she does is, while they run, without stopping, they take pictures. And the point that I'm getting at is, what she says in the movie is, you know, because she's like, oh, I'm not worried about like what people think about my pictures, because everybody can take a picture standing still. But my pictures are, you know, the skewed, slightly blurred because you're running. Like, it's different. And again, to get to my point, it's just, you know, don't be afraid to try something different that just, it'll help you stand out. And, you know, it just made me think of that, because she was like, everybody can take a picture standing still. Yeah. That's what everybody does. Everybody edits, you know, everybody hops on YouTube and finds the same editing video and stuff like that. Like, just, I mean, you can follow it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to negate that. YouTube is a beautiful place to find ways to learn and create. But
I've learned so much from
a very
YouTube.
important tool. So.
But, you know, instead of sliding the fader all the way to the left, slide it all the way to the right and just see what happens, you know, and post it and just look. You know, and then instead of just the typical filter, it's, you know, something that's super bright red or something. You know, I don't know.
It's like bedazzled.
My voice cracked. Let's auto-tune that shit.
Right. You know, like, who cares? Like, just try something different. I think that's where you see, like, these people that come up with these TikTok trends, because they tried something different, but then everybody hops on it, and then, you know, they got to find something else. But that's what makes them stand out.
So for your future sponsor, y'all hear that?
Look at that.
We're gonna try something different.
But, you know, and that's what we were talking about off air with, you know, shows that we're doing and stuff. But anyways, yeah, you just
try something different.
Try something different and just appreciate.
Tokens label is never too different.
Never too different.
Yeah, his stuff is.
He's from New Hampshire.
He's from Salem, Mass.
Okay.
Salem, Mass. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's dope.
And like, you know, that's why I'm, as far as like music goes, that's why I'm so drawn to, like, for the most part, as far as like impact and influence, you know, Jaden Smith, Kanye West, people who, you know, do crazy ass shit. Say crazy ass shit, you know, you wouldn't want to associate with you know, Kanye as a person, but I mean, like, creative wise, like, because
their mind is just in a different way.
Oh yeah, and like you see what they put together, it's like, holy fucking shit.
But
I've
like,
never seen this before, never heard this before.
Also, too, we see the Kanye that the public puts out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all know that Kanye is a genius. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine.
He's not stupid.
Right.
Because even even just looking at the early years, you saw, like, he would do something crazy, and then everybody's like, eyes on Kanye, and then he's like, ha, surprise, album. And then everybody's like, oh, okay. All right, I'm going to go stream that to see how crazy Kanye is. And then they bite into it, and then they listen to it, and then he gets all their money for listening to their album.
It's
like, he does it every time.
Yeah.
Something
it's
different.
A very aggressive, strategic move that way.
It's smart.
Yeah.
It works. Every time he would pop up, I'd be like, Ye's got an album coming. Yeah. And sure enough, 3 weeks later, Ye's got a new album out.
Somebody of that magnitude, you better fucking do something with it. You know what I'm saying? He did something with it. You know?
Yeah.
He has his own lane.
Yeah.
He has his own lane. We're talking about NF again.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
he has his own lane.
And you know, Eminem, when he was starting out, that was different. You know.
He would just throw up just a random picture of just slaughtering somebody, and we were like, what is he up to now? I want to know. And then he would just put out some crazy verse, and you're just like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, NF, we were saying it off air. Same thing with NF. He just disappears, and all of a sudden, like I said, he puts up a great picture. Everybody's like, oh my God. Oh my God, he's coming. He's here. I don't even care. I don't even care.
I love it.
Where's the date? And that's the thing. He put no caption. I looked at it. I was like, all right, there's no caption. And it's literally got like 1.5 million views and likes. And I'm like, what is happening? But everybody, you could just see everybody. Oh my God, I knew an album was coming. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm like, it's a great picture. It's a great picture. And everybody went instant panic mode and just excitement.
He could post something black. It could be a fucking black picture. I'd be like, oh my fucking God, he's here, bro.
Well, yeah, because that's just how he set it up. It's like the anti-Kanye of just, I'm going to just not put myself anywhere. And then all of a sudden, I'm here. Here's my music. All right, bye.
There it is, yeah.
We're like, we've been waiting. And we get our fix, and we're good.
Just like how people, like, you know, how some people, like, you know, go to like appearances, you know, they'll go to like a few of them, and then they'll say something crazy or do something crazy, or you know, they'll like tease something. I don't know, anything, and then you know, boom, an album comes.
But that just got me thinking. I think that speaks to his character of what he puts out. For the simple fact of, I can literally disappear, show back up, drop 2 videos, 3 videos, drop an album, and disappear, and everyone will be satisfied until I return.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that speaks to the caliber of music that he puts out. That he can be like, here you go. All right, bye. I'll be good.
Yeah, definitely.
Crazy, man.
Like, let you down. Here you go.
Right.
That's why it's so important.
Top ranked song. Like, I don't have to do anything. I can just, here you go. All right, I'll catch y'all in a year.
You can tell the amount of time and effort like is put into it. Like, it's extra. You know what I mean?
But that's what I was saying.
Very, very important.
That's what I was saying. I feel like he gets everything set up. Everything. Album is done. All right, let's get the videos done. And then, like we've seen, drops a video. 2 weeks later, I got another video for you. I got another single. Let's go. Album is coming.
And after the album drops, you know, maybe another video, and then tour.
And then tour, and then I'll
Yeah.
and then peace out.
Yep.
2-month tour, and then all right, I'll catch y'all later.
It's crazy, man.
But it's smart though. I mean,
That's probably how I'll be too. Because like even for me now, like I'll be dropping consistently. I'll fall back for a bit, you know, for like a few months or whatever. You know, be present on social media, like maybe like post a post or two. You know, post my story and everything, and then I'll have like everything together because I took that time to, you know, just be in the studio and, you know, just keep creating and all that stuff, accumulate, you know, mad songs, and then, you know, the album's there.
Yeah, man. It's
you know,
it's so hard to stay consistent.
It really is.
You're like trying to think of, oh, how can I push that? And it ties back into having a team, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, it ties back into having a team.
That eliminates a lot of, you know, writer's block or just being stuck.
Gosh,
Yeah.
You know,
like if I
as far
can
as
like
business moves go too.
just talking about writer's block, it's like, yeah, I mean, I write, and then it's like, I don't know what to write about. It'd be nice to have like some writers with you, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, just to like
Yeah.
put an idea in your
to
head.
put an idea in your head and, you know, write with
Right.
you, work with you. Let's work, let's build, you know?
Yeah, that's why I take a step back sometimes. Like I've looked at like how artists maneuver. Like I've said it before, Eminem, he works like, I've heard like he works like a 9 to 5. That's how he does his music. He shows up in the office at 9 o'clock, whatever, 5 o'clock, he's going home.
Yeah.
And same thing with NF. Like I'm giving you my music and then I'm out.
Right.
Because like for my mental, especially in the music industry, I'm gonna go crazy. I can't do this,
Right.
you know, 20 out of 24 hours a day.
Right.
Like I'm going to lose my mind.
I can only imagine, like, I mean, I'm sure it's dope as fuck, but I mean, like, going out in front of like 50,000 people plus every night,
Yeah.
traveling, and, you know, having to, you know, interact with like the same amount of people.
It's
At a meet
exhausting.
and greet, yeah, just everything coming at you, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, give me like 3-week tour. Like,
Yeah,
I'll hit. I mean, maybe a little bit more because you want to try to hit different areas. But like, give me just like a period, and then like
just
let me just
Leave me alone, yeah.
and then just leave me alone for like 2 months.
There's fans, there's paparazzi, there's, you know, TMZ caught you somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, where you going, huh? Yeah, you gonna take a shit, huh? Yeah, me too.
It's crazy. yeah.
Let's go together.
But just for my mental, man. Like, I mean, I'll speak for myself. It's just too much. And I just see, you know, you just see artists that just kill themselves. Not like literally, and you know, sad to hear that people actually do that, but just physically kill themselves to the point of just like being tired, being exhausted. Like they start making poor choices. Their mental is off the wall. They're doing crazy stuff. Like, it's just sad to see. And I keep just trying to remind myself, like, dude, you don't have to do all of that.
Right, yeah.
That everybody is doing everything. And like I said before in the last podcast, like consistency can be whatever you want it to be. If you post every third day, that's your consistency. If you post every day, that's your consistency. If you post once a week, once a month, once a year, and you show, and then you show up and you drop an album, like that's your consistency, because everybody knows NF disappears, and then a year later, you see a post, you know an album's coming. Like, I don't need to worry about what's happening because I know he's working or doing something. Right. But your consistency can be whatever it wants to be. And this way, like I said on the last podcast, if you drop Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I know that Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday, you're not going to drop anything. I'm not going to look for it. I don't need to look for it because I know when you drop. It's that simple. So the consistency can be whatever you want it to be. Right. You just have to stay consistent with that consistency. Mm-hmm. Or you're going to screw people up.
I like it.
And you got to keep the consistency very consistent with the other consistent thing that you're trying to be consistent with that is also consistent.
Again, anyway, to go back to NF, if NF started posting every other day, I'd be like, what is going on? Yeah. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Obviously, minus dropping an album. But once all that fades away and he's just like, hey, family picture. Hey, here's my breakfast. Here's, I'm back in the studio. I'm, sharing life stuff. Yeah. I'm going to be like, what is happening? This is not consistent with who NF is. And it would make me wonder, like, what changed? It's stuff like, I don't know, it's stuff I think about, but for me,
it's something that not a whole lot of us think about either. You know what I mean? Like, what is this?
Because this is long term.
Yeah.
When you're doing videography, photography, like this is something you got to do long term. Yeah. And videography, photography, you can take that even longer than a music career.
Yeah.
It's an investment, man.
You can be overnight. 60, 70 right. Still shooting.
It don't happen
shooting
overnight.
Stuff. You could still be doing weddings and events. 60, 70 years old.
How old do you want to? How old do you want to rap till?
I mean,
I was thinking that. I mean, you see Jay-Z. Jay-Z's still going, man.
I'll rap until I'm 100.
45, 50?
I mean, as long as I physically can without it interfering with just life and family. When it starts to hit a point where my family's really getting affected, my health is getting affected, it's not worth it to me. And I'll, and part of what I want to do with music is start getting investing in other things. Whether it's a clothing brand. Well, I have a clothing brand in mind, but clothing brand, or just getting involved in organizations, like things that, like, once music is done, which I know it'll end at some point, I can kind of just fall back on, rest on. It's not something that's overbearing. I can build that team where
still be able to make a living off of it.
I can make a living. I can delegate. So it's not all on my shoulders. I can just, hey, we're setting up for this event. Hey, can you guys go take care of this? Okay, cool. Let's meet up in a week and we'll.
Even if I'm making only $50,000 a year with just music and all that stuff, that's good. I'd be happy with that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Stuff like that. So I think for me at least, it's just a matter of I'll do it as long as I enjoy it first and foremost. However long God wants me to do it for. Yeah. And as long as it doesn't affect my family or my health or my livelihood.
Or your financials or anything.
Yeah. I'll keep doing it. But once those things start teetering and falling, I know that it's time for me to tap out.
That's good.
And I'll accept that because, again, I've gone through some things. I've put it in my music. Like, people will hear it, especially on this upcoming album.
Do we get
my
the
mental
name?
is not.
Do we get the name of the album yet?
Apartments.
Apartments?
Yeah.
Okay. What inspired the name?
So, Apartments was the kind of the inspiration behind Apartments was it's a metaphor for life situations that you're tied in. It's kind of what we were talking about earlier. Life situations that you're kind of tied into for a specific amount of time. Just like a lease for an apartment. You're usually in it for a year, and then you can kind of choose to move out, branch out, do some other things, or a new season. It's like a new season, type of thing. Or do you sign into a new season, or do you move out and start a new season? So that was kind of where that fell into. And because of that, which is why I created Moving Out during COVID, because I didn't want to release Apartments. I mean, I was still working on it, but I didn't want to release Apartments during COVID. Again, minus the fact that I was still working on it, but I wanted it to be where everybody was outside. Mm-hmm. So I was like, and that's where Moving Out came in, because I was like, all right, let me start tying all this together. I was like, let me have a prequel to it. So I'm moving out into my apartment. So everything is tailored into.
Is Voicemails the lead single? Or?
Lead single.
Okay.
Yeah. So Voicemails will be on there. And Voicemails was, just something I dealt with in my life. I lost family members, and I say this loosely, to voicemails, meaning I'm working, I get a call, I can't answer it because I'm working, I get a voicemail, hey, Dad's not doing too good, you should probably fly out here. Dad dies the same time I fly out there. Get another call, hey, sister just passed away. Again, voicemail. Working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car, couldn't answer my phone, hey, KK passed away. If you want to come fly out to Memphis, come fly out for the funeral. All right, cool. I'm in Maine, enjoying my birthday. I get the only call that I get, because I'm in Saco, Maine, no service whatsoever. The only thing that I get is a voicemail, and it's my brother's mom telling me that my nephew and his girlfriend passed away in a car accident. So that's where, but I also wanted to just let my family know that, I appreciate them. I love them. We're so spread out, but, I want there to be happy voicemails too, which is what you kind of hear in the song itself. But, I want us to stay in touch, not just because of a funeral.
Well, we appreciate one of my favorite podcasters says vulnerability,
It's tough sometimes.
Yeah. It is, but you never know who can be touched by it. Vulnerability is powerful. And
yeah, I've had a lot of people that have heard that song and they're like, man, like I didn't expect this from you. And two, just, it was great that you were able to kind of speak on something like this. And it's dope. So
I have a similar, not necessarily a voicemail, but it's probably one of the worst things that happened in my life was I lost my mom. I found out through a Facebook post. It's probably one of the hardest things I had to deal with.
Oh, for sure.
But just like people die left and right,
It's crazy.
And tying it back to our appreciation for the art, man.
Yeah.
I love creating.
It's where it's my outlet.
I love creating and I appreciate it even more.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that, bro.
Yeah. That's why I've been dying to get this album out because this was the album is everything that I went through and how I was able to get through it. And I want to share that with people. And even one of the songs, I was nervous because I don't know what the Lord has planned for me, but one of the songs is called Finish What I Started, because I was afraid, again, working on this so long, that I wasn't going to be here for it to drop. So, but I had all the lyrics done. I had all the beats. It just had to be finished. So in the song, I'm like, if I'm not here, can y'all, MOCG, can my friends just take what I have and just finish it for me, record the lyrics, record the songs, get this thing done and get it out there so that the world can hear what I was trying to say.
If you don't mind me asking, when you say you didn't know if you was going to be here, is it more of
just tomorrow's not promised?
Good. Okay.
Just tomorrow's not promised.
Gotcha.
Thank the Lord, I'm healthy, I'm good, everything like that. Glory
Bring
to God.
It back to the Bible,
Glory to God for just allowing me to be here, man. But
that's true, man. That's true.
Tomorrow's never promised. And again, I was taking so long. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be here if this drops.
That's good.
But I was like, if anything, if I can leave something behind musically, I want this to be out. This is my album, the album for me.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with one of my best friends. Mm-hmm. He's a drummer, and I've been trying to get him to get back into drumming.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm turning 30, and like, you know, we're never gonna be 20 years old again. When you think about it,
right?
You know, you're never gonna be 18. You're never gonna be 20. And I'm looking back at my life, and it's like, oh man, like I wanted to rush to get to 20 years old. I wanted to rush to get to 21, and I'll never be that age anymore. You know, so we gotta appreciate it, and you know, appreciate the art, appreciate the work, and really, you know, chase our dreams and, you know, really live this life, because the Bible said tomorrow is not promised.
Yeah.
You know, you never,
I know
you could die any day. Like,
I know I'm going to be rapping until, you know, I die of natural causes. You know, no matter what happens, like if I stop, I'm going to be like, shit. Like, I'm not going to know what to do with myself, really. You know what I mean?
I don't know about me.
And I would, if I ever stopped, I would regret it.
Yeah, I don't know how long I want to rap. I don't know. Eventually, some of my goals is to take on a young artist and build them up, create content, and like manage.
Yeah, mentor and manage.
I love to manage a young kid. I was talking with Vinny a couple weeks ago. Like, we had some of the similar goals of mentoring like a young artist. So I'm not sure how long I want to rap though, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, that's why I said as long as until I stop enjoying it, and until I stop finding the inspiration to do it. Because like I've told him, like there's been plenty of times I've wanted to quit and stop, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a break. I'm probably gonna be done, and then something just inspires me. Something happens. I get beats. I listen to a song and I instantly start writing, and I'm like, it's not over yet. All right, let's get back into this.
Yeah, to tie that
until it reaches that point.
Yeah. Also, like, just hearing people who listen to your music and saying they appreciate it makes that drive want to go even harder.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So,
I love music.
Oh yeah, and you know, obviously, like even if you don't go global, there's still, you know, something you can do like, locally, and you know, within your community and all that stuff. You know,
music is powerful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because you could always
very powerful.
You could always take back your old catalog. You know, as you start getting older, like maybe you don't want to go on a world tour, maybe you don't want to go on a U.S. tour. Hey, let's go back and
go on a tour though.
Oh, 100%. But, you know, once you start getting older, you know, and then, hey, let's just do a small New England.
Yeah.
You know, let's go back to doing small New England tours. Yeah. And let's just, you know, do some of our classics. Like, we don't have to go all crazy, but we still enjoy just performing and making music. It doesn't have to be world tours. We don't have to be making millions of dollars, but we just love the damn thing. Like, and we just love doing it. So let's just... You know, let's just keep rocking with what we got. I mean, you know, I may not make new music. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the Lord's got planned for me. But, you know, we'll just...
Come on, past the faith.
Just day by day, man. Just trying to take it day by day. I wake up, all right, there's another opportunity. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what, you know, let's see what I'm playing for today. And then I wake up the next morning, all right, let's see what I got planned for me today.
Yeah, you said something that really caught my attention, and just that new season. You know,
yeah, man.
We're all gonna have a new season. The lease on the apartment is gonna go up, and
you
don't know where.
That's what I'm saying. You never know. You never know. Apartment floods. The lease goes up. I don't know. You lose your job. You can't afford it. You get kicked out. You know.
All of a sudden, a fire happens, and within like 10 seconds, your whole house goes.
You lose everything. Like you never know.
That was literally me 4 or 5 months ago. I got let go from my job, man.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Like Lord. Where are we? And I work for a church. You know, I was working for a church. I loved my job. I was doing what I loved, and that season of my life had to end. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But you know, I totally agree with you. Everybody's in a new season, you know, of their life, and you never know when that lease is gonna be up. Right. And that's where and that's where the inspiration started to come from, because I had just moved out of one of my apartments. I was supposed to move one place. We ended up not moving there. But we didn't have a place to go. So we ended up moving in with my in-laws for a couple months. Super small bedroom, barely move. And then couldn't take it living there. It just happens. So but we don't have a place to go. We end up moving into a temporary house that was for sale by a family member. Didn't know when we were going to have to leave. All of a sudden, we got to leave. And then we find ourselves in New Hampshire at L.Y.F.E trying to find a place, but we can't find a place because I
And this is what's crazy. I was working. I didn't make enough money I made too much money to them to get assistance, but I couldn't afford to provide for us to get a house. And this was all while I was a part of MOCG. I was telling Just for Kicks this. He was like, dude, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Was this in the new album?
Yeah, all of this is on the new album. It's all in there, man. But, that was the season that I went through and like trying to find a place to live. And then we finally somehow got a place in New Hampshire, and then we just kind of built from there. And that's where I started writing, where I put out Settled. Because once we got that apartment in New Hampshire, after going through welfare, after going through those 3 different houses, dude, we moved like 7 times in like a year.
Look at you now, man.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I put Settled, because I was like, I'm finally on just like my even keeled, even ground. Like I'm not like up here, I'm not like anywhere. I'm just like I finally have stable ground to stand on. I'm finally just, the dust has settled.
Come on.
The chaos is gone.
Come on.
I finally settled. There's a 6-track EP. And, now it's just the only place that I can go is up. Because I've already hit rock bottom. Like, I was literally sitting at welfare. My wife was inside. I'm literally sitting at welfare. But this is how I knew that music was a part of it. Because I was literally sitting there. And I had a friend that I was working with at the time on music from New York send me a song. He's like, bro, I want you on the song. And I was like, I am just not like mentally prepared to just do this song. And he sends me the song, but I'm like, just send me the song. Like, I'll try to, whatever. And I'm just sitting outside. And some days we do it for the love of it. Some days we just do it for the F of it. And I literally just wrote about sitting at welfare, because I also met a guy there that while we're sitting there, he's like, I'm like, hey, I'm just sitting outside, and he's just walking around. He's like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm about to go in there, try to get an apartment and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, my wife's in there. And he's like, yeah, man, just got out of jail. I'm trying to turn my life around. But he's like, you know what? I'm here, and I'm trying to do better. And it like hit me, and I was like, I could be so much worse. Yeah. Like, I could be just fresh out of jail trying to get my life together. And I'm like complaining that I can't find a place to live. Like, this dude is literally like clean slate, probably barely had any clothes, because you're just out of jail. They give you just like the shirt on your back. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but like, could have been worse.
Yeah, bro. I was blessed to go on a few missions trips to Peru and Guatemala. And,
word.
It was like feed the children, but 100-fold. Like, literally, like, it was right in front of my face. Mm-hmm. But it made me appreciate, like, I have a place to lay my head.
Yeah.
I have clothes on my back. I have shoes on my feet.
It's wild.
And, like, these kids have nothing.
Yeah.
They have nothing, and you see it up close and personal. It's like, we take things for granted sometimes, and we don't appreciate it,
Yeah.
And like just to see that, it made my heart sad. It's like it made me come back to America. Like, I'm blessed.
Right.
Like, I'm blessed. Some of these people don't have any clothes. They don't have any shoes.
Right.
Like, these kids are barefoot on the ground walking. But a lot of them had smiles on their face, man. When they seen us coming in with the rice bags, man, they were ready. They were ready to come. But just tying back to what you said, just appreciating it, and because there's somebody who's worse off than you,
right? Because like I had to look at it like, dude, like at least I had a place to go. Like, I still had a place to go. I just didn't want to go there. I was being stubborn, but I had a place to go. I had family that were willing to open their doors for me. Like, he didn't have that at all. Like, he didn't have a paycheck. He's like, I'm trying to get in here, trying to get a job, trying to get a apartment, a place to live, trying to get food. I'm like, at least I got money in my account. At least I have, my stuff is in a house that I'm trying to move out of. Like, I have stuff. I have a bed. I have clothes. I have, I can afford some food. At least I can do that. Like, this guy literally has nothing. Like, what am I complaining about? Like, what am I getting so bent out of shape about for?
That's good.
And that's what I put in that song when he sent it. I was like, the timing couldn't be more perfect. And I was like, I got to appreciate what the hell I have.
Yeah.
Because
could be season, the lease is up. Appreciate what you have. Come
you,
on. I like it.
And as far as coming out of a rough place, you know, mentally or whatever else, like that's part of why I'm like, my last album is called Lord Forgive Me, like meaning like, you know, Lord forgive me for everything I've put myself through, and, you know, let myself think, and, you know, please propel me to, you know, into a better state of mind, a better life going forward. And that helped me get through the hardest times in my life. And, you know, whoever's listened to it, I'm sure it's helped them just as much. And I'm here. I'm good. You know, we're doing this podcast. We're in this incredible studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're good.
I like that you said that too. The things that I put myself through. Because I think a lot of people don't take accountability for those things. Because, yeah, we go through situations, but, like, majority of the time it's like the company you keep. Yeah. It's how you maneuver. Yep. It's what you put yourself into. Right. What you surround yourself with. Take some accountability, man. Like, you know, that I don't know, that just caught me. Like,
at that time, I was feeling extremely shitty about myself, and COVID made it worse. Where was I going with it?
But it's like, how do you respond to, you know, how do you respond to that?
Right.
Like, COVID is hitting me. How do I respond to this? How I feel is how I respond to the situation. Yeah. So,
you know. Yeah, and, you know, I didn't talk to anybody about how I was feeling or anything. And that's when it really hit the hardest. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use this and fucking make a whole full-ass album, you know, start to finish. Where I am now, I'm going to get myself to a better place. And that's how the album's going to end.
But that was choices you made.
Right, exactly.
You know, to go along with what you said. Those are choices that you made. I need to get myself out. I need to start talking to people. I need to make music to get through this damn thing.
Right.
And I'm going to share this with people so that hopefully they can hear my testimony and better themselves and maybe not make the same choices that I made. I don't want to say mistakes because we all make choices.
Yeah, right. That's true.
You know, and
I need
move
to
forward.
not be with this group of people and be with this group of people. Because what am I doing here? I need to get over here. How am I going to do that? I don't know, but I'm going to find a way. You know, just like anybody else.
Because there's probably also a problem, not a problem, a reason why you maybe don't talk to or reach out to this group of people versus maybe this group of people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it comes to the company that you keep. Like, if I'm not comfortable, if I'm going through something and I'm not comfortable enough to talk to at least somebody that I'm surrounded with, like, that's a problem. Like, I should be comfortable to at least talk to somebody if I'm, like, just really going through the muck. To be like, hey,
if I ain't telling you which club I'm going to, I don't trust you. You know what I mean? You know,
but that's true.
I have a good vibe about
makes you want to, like,
whoever.
really
You know what I mean?
check your circle too. Like, who you surrounding yourself by that you can't tell them about your problems.
Exactly.
Right. Or the good stuff.
Right.
Or like you said, if I'm going to the club, like if I don't care to tell you, like you probably, not that you don't matter, but it don't matter that you need to know that information.
Right. And you're with like much better people if you're not hesitant about talking about anything, or just like, hey, you want to go grab a drink? What you want to do this? Want to do that? Whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I think about too. Like, when you're about to go do something, who are the first people that you think of when you're about to go do it?
One of my best friends.
Simple thing. You know what I'm saying? Simple. Simple stuff like that. Like, think about, like, whoever's listening. Think about that for a second. When you're going to go do something, who are the first people that pop in your head when you're like, I'm gonna go to the movies? Mm-hmm. Like, are there people that pop in your head, be like, yo, I want to call this person to just come hit up a movie with me?
Yeah.
Like, that shows the value of where they are in your life.
That's good.
And everybody has their own place and purpose in everybody's life. We all know that.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own purpose for what they do and how they influence your life. Yeah. We all understand and know that. So,
And the coolest thing about, us, like, we're all creators, we all make music. So, like, our idea of hanging out is doing this. We're chilling right now.
Yeah.
Our idea is like creating
music.
Like,
let's go to the studio. You know what I mean?
Bro,
right.
When I was in the studio at Faith, like, we were having such a good time up in New Hampshire, bro. Like,
we're at MOCG.
That was probably some of the funnest times I've had, just being in that creative space and creating music. It's like, this feels good. This feels right.
Yeah, I don't need crazy stuff, man.
Especially if you don't have to worry about, like, studio. I mean, studio time is necessary sometimes because, like, you're trying to boost up the quality of your album, whatever. Right. You want to work with different people, but being in that,
but just
in
like
the space, like,
just us coming together,
just the fellowship, be together,
just
and
to shoot the shit and write a bit, record,
and just bounce ideas and just laugh, have a good time, and like not be so serious,
right?
Yeah,
but just like let's just create, like let's not take it so serious. Well, we take it seriously, but to a level of not taking it too seriously, and just letting it flow, let it become natural, not just be like, oh, we got to like camera, we got to make the song, like, dude, like, especially what we're talking about, like we're talking about God and and everything that He does, and you can't just be all like serious, uptight, and clenched and gotta make this album, like it's not gonna sound right, especially the topic.
They used to be me when I had the
thing for asshole. You mean this goddamn like motherfucker?
Yeah, like. It's not gonna sound right.
That's good.
So it's like, just get in there and just have fun. Like we just made it work. I think we did like 2 sessions because that's what made it work. We spread it out because it just made for better music instead of trying to cram all 5 songs into one thing. I think we did like 2.5 because that just made it work and came out with some great music. And I'm excited to drop it.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm gonna get some videos and stuff, and some videos and content done first. We're gonna get everything prepped, and
we're gonna come like NF and then leave. Like,
it's a dope project. I mean,
go at it again.
It's been some time. But I'm excited. I think it was worth the wait. Mm-hmm. I think timing is everything. I think it's in a good spot.
Everything happens when it's supposed to.
For me, some of the beats were a challenge. For me, like some of the stuff I'm used to doing is like more towards like worship, more R&B. Then like sometimes I'll hit it with like a Mac Miller type beat. You know what I'm saying? But definitely it was a little bit of a challenge. But I'm glad that I was able to do it.
Accept that challenge.
Accept that challenge. Mm-hmm. Definitely accept that challenge.
Yeah, appreciate that because some of them definitely understand where you're coming from, and I'm glad that it was able to work out. Like that's what I said. That's what I told him when we did our collab album. Some of the beats were very different than what I'm used to. More just the storytelling and the ones that we picked out were a little more fast paced, a little more quicker tempoed, stuff like that. And he's obviously rapping off the beat and everything and killing it. And I'm like, I gotta keep up, I'm not gonna let him just run me off the track. So but I took it as a good challenge. I took it as a good challenge of just not like trying to compete, but just making sure that I keep myself up and I keep making myself better and accepting that challenge. And
I
created a dope album.
Definitely relate to that with Vinny, bro. Because like if your verse suck, he'll tell you. Like he doesn't hold that back, and like just having the chemistry with him, like we put out a whole EP, and like the chemistry together, it just bonded and it just clicked. You know what I'm saying? There's just something about him that like we just click together, and we make really great music. But like he'll straight up tell you like the verse is trash.
You need people like that. You really do.
It ties back into going back to
you're saying the same thing over and over again. You're repeating yourself. You're stuttering here. You need to fix that. Like you need to do that. It just as long as you have that good relationship, like you really need to understand, like this is all just to make you better. It's not to put you down. It's not to be call you trash. It's
to motivate.
It's to motivate you and be like, I want to see you better, so here's what we can fix.
There's always somebody along the way that like gives you, perspective on something, and it's like,
just little nuggets.
I never thought of that.
Yeah. Like, just little nuggets.
Didn't I just do that before?
Just like when I had that conversation with the dude from church, my brother from church, he was like, you should probably do 8 to 10 tracks because people aren't going to listen for 15 tracks most of the time, unless you're an old head. Most people aren't going to listen. And check out 1 RPM because it's a great platform to submit your music for free.
That's good.
It's stuff like that. Like I just pick up little nuggets and just take it and all right, cool. Moving on.
Dude, what if we were able to, only see like music videos like through like virtual reality?
Bro, that's a thing. Like they already have like virtual reality. No, like for sure. Virtual reality when you go to, you can see like the actual basketball games.
Oh yeah, for sure. You just stream it right because you got Bluetooth VR and Wi-Fi and everything.
Like crazy.
And you just put it to the because you can download apps right on those things. So I'm sure you could just
I want to be surprised.
Stream something. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can download YouTube on like an Oculus headset.
Yeah.
And then you just watch like a music video, which would be sick.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially ones that are like super interactive, and you're just like, whoa.
And that's like the only way you can see it. You can't like go anywhere else. Like,
yeah,
That'd be dope.
yeah. Has anybody thought of
it's
that?
a new
Music video
venture.
Did that camera die?
I hope not. Hopefully not. We'll see. Let's see. Hold on. This is real time, people. This is what happens, and this is what you got to do.
Technical difficulties.
Nah, no technical difficulties. We still got a camera, so I'm still rolling, man, and that's still going, so we good. I don't care. I mean, it's just about time anyways, but, you know, I really appreciate you coming out here, man.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me.
This has been dope, as always.
It's been real dope, man.
Yeah, good to meet you. I'm gonna tap into your music for sure. Like, it's y'all have a song together, like.
Let me know.
Yeah, it's likely that we'll do some work together too.
Let me know.
This is why this kind of thing's cool for me, because like this is like totally new coming into this.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it's a good way to meet whoever's around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just making connections through conversations, whether it's connecting what we're talking about to other people who are listening, to a videographer, a photographer, an actress, things like that, a writer, that I've had on the podcast, fitness people, like you need to, you're trying to get up your fitness for a tour.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's a guy that could probably help you out, give you a good workout,
Great,
like stuff like that. Like that's what's dope about it.
Great networking, great just being around other creators. And we're talking about content. Like, this is perfect for content.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's definitely inspirational too, because like I wanna get into more things like this. I've only been on a few podcasts, but like this was joyful. It fed my soul.
This is Joy in the Morning.
Yeah, there you go.
I got you.
Stream the new single, Joy in the Morning.
Yes, sir. Where can people kind of connect with you? To learn more.
You can connect with me on my Instagram. That's drockmusic_. You can also check out my photography, my video work on Boyd's World Pete. That's short for Boyd's World Productions. My last name is Boyd, so definitely check me out on there. And
word.
Yes,
Well, I appreciate it, man. I want to say thank you one more time. Thank you, 41st Studios, MOCG again for letting us do our thing.
Oh wait, we can't forget our future sponsor.
Speaking
into existence.
Quench your thirst with Liquid Death.
Kill your thirst with Liquid Death. But until
down
next,
that bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Pick up this Liquid Death, please.
Liquid Death.
You will be cleansed.
There you go. But until next time, my name is Jay Faith.
My name is L.Y.F.E.
My name is D-Rock.
And this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?
Peace out, y'all.